Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome to the show. Alhamdulillah, it's another beautiful Thursday evening, and you know what that means? That means we'll be tuning into Call to Guidance with your host Yunus Kawanga, coming to you live from the Salam Media Studios in Johannesburg, Central African Time. It's only 1 minute past 8, and subhanallah, today we have actually quite a lively set of guests. Later on, inshallah, about 8:30 until 9, we'll be speaking to an artist in a very interesting story of how he became an artist, etc., and his aspirations in the world of art. And subhanallah, recently he painted a portrait of the masjid in Soweto called Lamini Masjid, and inshallah we're showcasing that also. So we'll be with Alex Maswangani later from 8:30, and to kick off the show, we'll be focusing on a youth camp that took place about 2 weeks ago from the 21st to the 23rd in Soweto. It was hosted by the Soweto Muslim Association under the planning and construction organizing of Moulana and other people. And today we'll be with one of the people who are helping in the program, Mubarak Manana, who's all the way from Palm Ridge at Masjid Taqwa. He's a coordinator of many youth programs. He's an Ustādh also and assistant Imam also. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the show.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا حضرت. How are you?
No, barakallah feek. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, especially when it comes to matters of the youth. As we all been discussing many times, that this is one of the, when that hadith of الناس كالمعادن الذهب والفضة, that people are like mines of gold and silver. I think the youth are ma'adin. They are the precious mines that we are not cultivating, we are not digging into to try and bring up their potential. So now focusing more on the youth camp that took place, inshallah, if you can just give us, like when we go for Jamaat, we say Kargozari of the whole in the 3 days that took place, inshallah, briefly explaining to us what was the camp about and what were the outcomes, inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول كريم. Well, I would start by saying that Alhamdulillah, by the looks and how we spent it, it was a very, very successful camp. And with the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we managed to accomplish, the minimum and the major part of it, Alhamdulillah. What I can highlight for me, the first and foremost, it is that the young boys and the young ones are very hungry. Whether it is for deen, whether it is their academic studies and so forth and so on. And in light of that, there were so many, obviously, the sitting and the gatherings that were happening. How much they ask the questions, the curiosity that comes with they late at night, we would sit and, when we're sitting, it was like, we're only short of the fire, but we can't do that in the masjid, obviously. But we're sitting before we sleep, we do the etiquette of sleeping or whatsoever that. But in that, we would tell them the stories that obviously that they can relate to them. The story of Yusuf alayhi salam, the story of Mu'adh bin Jabal, all these incidents that will cultivate that curiosity, that zeal in their heart for them to, to have that burning fire of wanting to do, And, the most important thing that we try to focus is that we try to collaborate, that their life at home and the life in the masjid, it shouldn't be a different thing. And Alhamdulillah, one of the most emphasized point, it is the respect of parents that we try to to put in their understanding. So in that, it was a very, very good sitting, and they loved it actually so much so that at the last day they wanted that these things they should happen more. I mean, they not from the family or backgrounds where they can go Jamaat, where they can go Markas. It's rare for them to go there, but those halakat and those mahal and environment for them, it keeps them alive, and they believe. One of them actually said that Alhamdulillah, I got to read my Fajr Salat in my Salat, all my Salat on weekends. So it is a big thing. So they are very hungry. That's what I can tell you, Azran. And it's only the leaders who would guide us, and with the assistance that we can offer, that we need to work on these boys. They need it.
Subhanallah. This is honestly, I believe it's one of those programs that if you missed out, you really missed out. But inshallah, there are many more in the lineup coming up, because you see, the again, Moulana, is you mentioning that the boys were in that concept of saying that we wish there can be more, there can be more. And I was just looking at the program again in terms of the lineup itself. Subhanallah, there were Allahu Akbar. Like, one thing which was said at the program was that it's very rare to have programs like this where a group of local native ulama coming together and taking part in such an initiative, because these are the things that we need. People we need to look up to. Like, I see the names of Qari Umar Sitole, Imam Khalid, who's the Imam of the Masjid itself. Moulana Zuite himself is there. Moulana Yusuf, the Imam of Mdeni. We have Moulana Rehan Mabuse, all the way from Mabopani, Block D. Moulana Zaid Mashel again from Mabopani.
Mm.
Subhanallah, the lineup was just interesting. Moulana Dawood Ndlovu, all these people were, subhanallah, they have a lot of potential that they are trying to breed back into the communities. Not so much saying they came from those communities specifically, but they have relationships. Like the first topic was regarding importance of iman in our township environment, and which is a very resounding topic. And I believe also from your side, Guatema, going all the way to Tsakani, etc., we have the same situation when it comes to Kasi and dealing with Iman issues. So it is not any different. Mabopani, Winterfeld is not any different. And on speaking now in terms of the issue, one of the points you mentioned, the boy who said he's happy that he had to perform his Fajr in Jamaat. Now, what are the concepts that we can use to encourage them to, I can say, frequent the masjid more? What have you seen in those 3 days that could have assisted, inshallah, in a long run for that?
Well, for me, what was, this is because of maybe, Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala gave me that the love for the young ones. I tried as much as I can to have the ta'alluq with them. One thing that we as Muslims, we try to seclude them or to sanction them in a way that we don't mix with them.
Mm,
There's one
mm,
we were discussing this, that Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was walking with his son. He was sitting in a gathering of Rasulullah sallam, when he asked about the tree that resembles a mu'min. So in
mm,
that, we understood that Umar radiallahu anhu used to take his son in the masjid. He never
mm.
used to leave him out. That he would
Okay, seems like we're having a bit of a network interruption, but just to bring everyone into what you call it. Okay, Sheikh, are you back with us? I think we are back, inshallah. All right, Bismillah.
So it is one of those things that the boys, they need to feel that whether you are an elderly or a mulana or a hafiz or the imam of the masjid,
Mm,
we need to know how to interact with you. One of the things that came up when we were sitting there, they would cry out their things that they're facing in the house, because of the
mm,
environment allowed them to talk of those things. I mean, if you make them comfortable and you try to make sure that I'm with you in whatever that you're going through, ask me. And you make sure that he also feels that you are going through some things in life, even though they are not for him to change or for him to be concerned with, but he
mm,
needs to know that he's not the only one who's going through something. So when we're sitting there, they would share, they would ask, personal things, and what they want to see, what they want to achieve, and those kind of things. So my point, it is to say the proximity. I mean, the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would make sure that him and the young ones, he would invest so much on them. There's so
mm,
many incidents I can highlight one, but the point is that we need to make sure that we involve them. in whatsoever way. When we going to maybe to the programs or to markas or whatever, we need to grab one or two in our classes, one or two in our masjid. You know what, I'm going masjid, come with me. Create a
mm,
ta'alluq. You know, one of the things that I try to achieve here in our masjid is that to play with them soccer. So now and again they knock in my house, "Moulana, you coming for soccer?" You know, that ta'alluq. It happens that most of them they come to me whenever they want to share something. "Moulana, I'm dealing with this and those kind
mm,
of things. That environment that they can come with you, it's easier for you to say, you know what, let's go to Masjid Salat, we're gonna come, we're gonna talk afterwards. When you're playing soccer with them, you know when it's time for Salat. It's easier for you
mm,
to grab them and take them to the Masjid. And also then they know that Mulana is around, so we need to make our Salat. So that was
mm,
the same environment. There they couldn't miss the Salat because of the in a Masjid already, and we are also behind them saying that the Salat is the way, Allah is the way, Islam is the way. So there's no way that they're gonna go anywhere around. When they were sitting and talking themselves, they couldn't talk of anything outside Islam or anything that is not relevant to their iman. They would talk and speak on the things that they want to improve. It was so beautiful, alhamdulillah.
mm. Subhanallah.
So
Very
another point
interesting.
that
Yeah.
I wanted to raise, it was on the issue when you spoke about the concerning factors about iman. Is that when we
Mm,
grew up, the tabligh was active in our locality, and that
mm,
helped us to be in that environment that would keep us safe, our iman safe in those harsh environments.
mm,
So for them, when they would tell you that at home, um, this is happening at school, that is happening, I can't fast, I can't. So now you know what is it that you're dealing with in your school. Here we have
mm.
boys that they cannot perform Quran. You as an Ustādh, you need to take initiative, write a letter, take to the principal. He will sign it gladly. So this is how you would probably show them, that you are part of this also.
Mm, Subhanallah. Very interesting because you see the points I mentioned again, it's exactly what we were saying that every aspect of the township Muslims go through the same thing. And what amazing thing again, I think it was also resounded last year in this the camp at Orlando regarding mentorship. That we don't find a lot of mentorship programs for the youngsters with the more advanced Muslim brothers in the communities. There's a big gap where it's impossible to bridge it because you've lost so many chances and time. And also, some feel that the older brothers are unapproachable, then they have no sense of common grounds. I think those are always the main issues that they face. And subhanallah. Now, in terms of, we've spoken about the Iman part. Now, I wanted to go more into the current issues that we are facing. For example, drug abuse, unemployment. Um, uh, I think one of the things that was raised a lot was in terms of how people shouldn't force themselves to be in a school environment more so, as it does force people to feel like, you have to be in that place and you have to complete those years. But at the same time, we're forgetting a very big issue here. After the 12 years of schooling or however long it may be, then people are. I remember a few weeks ago there was a. Uh, One of these celebrities said something on their video that the youth of South Africa are unemployable. And at a certain point, if you look at it, it is true because we don't have skills. After 12 years of school, 15 years now, because of you have to start a grade triple R. After those years, a person doesn't have any skill to provide. And the jobs will say that they want a person with skills or experience, but no one is available to provide those. Anyway, I would like to go deeper into this, inshallah. Let's just take a quick break, and when we return, we'll go deeper into this discussion, inshallah. Jazakallah khairah.
Okay, so.
Elite local and international investment and advisory services from an award-winning firm? Look no further than the Belmont Mayer Group, your gateway to unparalleled investment and wealth management. At Belmont Mayer, we believe in the art of wealth creation, a meticulous process fueled by our unwavering commitment to excellence. With a focus on providing elite alternative investments and quality advice, we also pride ourselves on maximizing value for our esteemed investors, as seen through our consistent outperformance. Your financial success is our top priority. Join us at Belmont Mayer and experience the difference firsthand. Ready to embark on a journey of greatness? Contact us today. Reach out to the Belmont Mayor Group on 078 786 1698. Call or WhatsApp or email us at info@belmontmayor.com. Elevate your financial future with Belmont Mayor, where every detail matters.
Send food and send kindness to those who have lost their homes and have been plunged into poverty. For those who are a meal away from starvation, a food parcel means an entire family can eat this Ramadan. That's the power of food. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
You know, it's a wonder how kids get anything done these days. With all the distractions, when do they even get time to study? As a mother, all I can really do is make sure they have all they need to perform at their best. That's why I choose to include Sunfoil, triple refined pure sunflower oil with every meal I make. Naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether I'm cooking, frying or baking, I know every dish will be a wholesome one. Sunfoil, now we're cooking.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Valley's Motor Spares. We supply motor spares and accessories for all makes and models of motor cars, LDVs, bakkies, trucks, and earth-moving equipment. We deliver on time, every time. Please contact us via WhatsApp on 014-592-0925 or call 014-592-0925 or visit 28 Zenderling Street, Rustenburg. Remember the name, Valley's Motor Spares.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. If you've just joined us, well, we're discussing the Soweto Muslim youth camp that took place between the 21st to the 23rd of June. And subhanAllah, this was hosted by the Soweto Muslim Association at the Masjid, or called the Lamini Masjid, one of the oldest masjid actually found in Soweto, built in the early 1980s. Actually, subhanAllah, a while ago went and we were shown the architect, the whole planning of the masjid, which was actually done in 1978. So halal by Sheikh Zaid Zangi, who was showing us the whole thing. Amazing. Subhanallah, it's a heritage of the Muslims in Soweto. Anyway, coming back to the discussion, one of the points again we were mentioning before the break was that the point of the youth being unemployable, but at the same time, looking at the school system, there's a big gap in terms of the type of skills which are being provided to the youth. Now, what would be, inshallah, our best counter for this, so that when our youngsters in the location, in the townships, when they finish school, even if they don't finish school, but however, they are able to provide some skills and use it sustainably for their own livelihood and well-being, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim again. Hazrat, one of the points, when it was actually discussed on a last day, it was that the young ones, they need to know, and we need to help them in realizing, one, that they have to take the responsibility themselves. Them, if they're going to put them front, they're going to put themselves in front and push them forward. They're going to be able to unlock and to understand what is it that they can do and achieve. Because of now, remember, there's these things, cyberbullying, and all these things that that it drags them down, and obviously they become lazy, lethargic, and they don't have the confidence. But if these sitting, they can help them to gain that confidence, to understand the responsibility that they have or they can carry, then it will be easier for them to market themselves, to know and identify that these are the places that I need to visit. One, the thing that it was discussed by Moulana Yunus, it was that the tool of the phone. They need to know how to use the tool of the phone to what you call, to find opportunities, to see if there's opportunities that they can use for their advantage. I mean, if one of the things also that was mentioned is that, go in a local mechanic and try to understand his work so that you can enable yourself and see what is it that you love around. What I'm trying to get to is that it is not only the issue of the drugs, it is not only the issue of the environment itself. Also, a person individually himself, he is the leader if he's not going to be productive, or he's not going to take the responsibility of himself.
Mm.
So the sad part is that they are in the midst and in the depth of what drags them down. The whole, it has no end, it will take them down. So long as they don't establish themselves having the confidence of saying that, you know what, I need to straighten up. I mean, when you're sitting and you're listening to them, they have dreams. They want to have, stable income. They want to, marry some days. We were laughing about those kind of the questions that they ask. This shows that they want to do something. However, it is having that direction that we can, give them. And, at the same time, we need to keep them close. It goes back to the point of having to mentor them, having to, nurture them in a way that they don't fall, they don't go all far off. They can, in any decision that they want to take in their life, they can say, Mulana, I'm thinking of doing this. Mulana, I'm thinking of doing that. And we can see how many, Mulana is working with kids himself. How many students they come to you and say, Mulana, I'm dealing with this. Or Mulana, I want to take this career. And it's only few or probably a handful of children they would come to you, if not any. So the point is that these kids, they need an immense amount of support first, and secondly, they need to also realize that we can do it also ourselves. We don't have to wait for anyone, to push us, to feed us, or those kind of things.
Subhanallah. It is very, I think everyone agrees on exactly those points that we have to, as much as we want to see them proving a point that they can do this, they can take the horse by the reins, but also we need to provide it support, which is exactly what you're saying there. And another thing, again, remember we spoke about upscaling a lot, and subhanallah, since the camp, I was actually going through some websites, checking opportunities of upscaling. Subhanallah, I found tons of them, which are actually government run projects that just need people to come in and say, okay, we have a facility, and send us one facilitator from your side, and we can accommodate the people who will come and learn the skills. Subhanallah. And recently I was just speaking on, we have our Salam Media Foundation regarding there's a cell phone repair opportunity, and it's in all the provinces, but people are not talking about it. Again, that's one of the things I think we mentioned at the camp, that some of the information, you won't hear of it if you don't dig. So you need to start using the phone and actually getting to learn that, hey, some information you really need to go search for it, and you will get it. And many of them I saw, it was some initiatives, government initiatives, that needed proposals from people in the location, in the local, wherever you may be. And those are the type of things that we're supposed to be there as Muslims also. Again, going back to your point of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, besides bringing the youngsters into the gathering to sit with the older Sahaba radiallahu anhum, at the same time, it was also regarding about the sustainability of the community. From him, we all learned administration. We all learned how a city, he actually established the first ever metropolitan, as you can call it, in Islam, because of his administration in the police corps, etc. So we need to be in the forefront of this, inshallah. And inshallah, lastly, obviously, we speak now, we need to look into future points. What inshallah will be the future initiatives coming in. Obviously, we couldn't have we needed to discuss more on this with Moulana Iman himself, because he was the main fuel for the program. But he is on a we call it a sabbatical, subhanallah, until he comes back. Inshallah, we'll dig deeper with him. But for also Palm Ridge, I remember last time we had a camp, a youth program there. What's next? Like after a camp, everyone goes back into their dungeons, into the holes. Now, what's next after the camp? What are we looking at doing, inshallah? We're not only in Soweto, but also in the other townships. What can we do, and how can we do it, inshallah?
Alhamdulillah, the next movement is one. It is to academically support the kids who wants to have tuition. It came up on the sitting there. Those who wants to take extra classes, the organization will obviously assist them and provide them with lectures and those teachers who can assist. Alhamdulillah. And the next thing is that they mentioned that they want to see this often, inshallah. The upcoming one is the youth camp, father and child program that's going to be coming inshallah soon in Cambridge. And also in Soweto also there's a program also that's going to be coming, that's on the career choice program that's going to be assisting them on how to choose a career while you are still studying. And those things obviously they are taken out from what was discussed from the camp itself, inshallah. And then also the reverse classes also came about. Inshallah, we spoke about that. Mulana Mubarak will also try to present a presentation on how he can assist those who are elderly in learning their deen, knowing how to read the Quran, and masnoon to us, those relevant things for basic things to go about as a Muslim, and a few other things. But alhamdulillah, there's quite a bit that was addressed, and it will be inshallah. Obviously, it's a journey. It is not something that you're gonna, take one gulp and then you finish. But inshallah, with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll be able to, inshallah.
No, most definitely. Alhamdulillah, at least there is a way forward. One thing, Moulana Iman always tells me is that, we should act more and talk less. Because the more we talk, then nothing will be done. But inshallah, let's hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the tawfiq that we do come and carry on with this work. For me, subhanallah, this was a beautiful initiative, having these camps. By the way, we also have this a program in Pretoria bi-weekly. The youngsters go and they sleep over at the Masjid, have such discussions about what's happening. Inshallah, end of July, we're supposed to be having another one, inshallah, talking more about, those who are, again, inshallah, interested in nikah, etc. But we want to talk deeper into the discussion. No, that one is a very important one, especially knowing our setup in the location, speaking about Jolo, etc. On things which are really.
There's a brother, I think a day afterward, he told me that he's going for samosa or papran.
Yes, that was a brother for him, and inshallah we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does grant him a good spouse, someone who's actually fitting for him, inshallah, compatible for him, inshallah. And all the other brothers, inshallah, who are intending to get married, we make dua for them also. Jazakumullah khaira once again. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and really, we really need to see more movements like this in not only Soweto, not only Pretoria, not only Palm Ridge, but even other townships, inshallah, Tokoza, going that side, Guatemala, etc. We need to see such movements led by the youth, for the youth, inshallah. Jazakumullah khaira, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all your work and all your efforts. And inshallah, next time when you do have a program in Palm Ridge, please do not forget us, as we want to be part of this beautiful initiatives.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Now that brings us to the end of our first segment, inshallah. Let's take a break, and when we return again, we'll be speaking to Alex Adam Maswanganyi, who is an artist. Subhanallah, interesting story that he has for us, and also about the initiatives that he's busy with, the projects. And inshallah, for those who will see their kids, children who have this talent of art, inshallah, we have hope, inshallah. And let's take a break, and when we return, we'll go deeper into the discussion, inshallah.